for the culture.
It's time to finish what Marcus Garvey started.
Mic check.
Put your mouth where the money is.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Jay Nicole, and your boy, Astounding.
Hey, what it do?
Tell them who we had today.
Hey, man, A1 Live, man. We got the JCS Project. We got League 360 in the building. Man, they finna tear it down, man. These are true revolutionaries in the works. You know what I'm saying? Give it back to the next generation. That's why we here. Get in the action, baby.
Y'all know y'all can tune in on weareA1.com, YouTube, Periscope, Facebook, everything.
Everything.
Get in the action.
Hey, yo, A1 Live. Hey, man, got the Bill Podcast in the building, man. Y'all tune in, man. We are A1.com, man. You know what I'm saying? We taking a knee on y'all boys, man. Hey, absolutely.
Y'all can watch on Facebook, Twitter,
Periscope.
weareA1.com. Get in the action.
Yeah. Hey, yo, it's Wednesday, A1 Live. Catch us on weareA1.com.
I'm gonna jump in there too.
Hey, Action Squad in the building. That boy J Norm.
Your boy.
weareA1.com. Y'all tune in right now, 8 o'clock every Wednesday night. It's going down on A1 Live. Your girl J Nicole, your boy Atumra. We got the entire Action Squad in the building. So y'all go ahead and tune in, comment, tell your friends, tell your mama, tell your granny, tell your uncle, everybody.
And bring me some tacos.
And get in the action.
What it do, brother iTunes Rob. A1 Live in the place to be. Got the Credit Sisters in the building. Action Squad, what up? Hey, man, we are A1.com. Check us out. Get in the action, baby.
Make sure y'all tune in. You can tune in on weareA1.com, Facebook, Twitter. What else?
Man, we on everything. Everything.
Get in the action.
Yay.
Hey, A1 Live right now. Halloween.
A1 Live coming to you. Tune in.
Get in the action.
You know what I'm saying?
Right now. Twitter, Facebook,
everything.
Yeah.
Tune in to everything.
Get in the action.
Action one.
RBG gon' ride on God. By the way, I ain't tell you.
Hey yo. Back in this thing again, A1 Live. We appreciate everybody that's checking us out via Facebook Live. Everybody checking us out on weareA1.com. Make sure that you go on Google Play and get the app. You know what I'm saying? The app is out now. You know what I'm saying? Apple coming soon. You know what I'm saying? Tell them quit making us jump through them loops because we coming, man. You know what I'm saying?
Tiny GB.
Acting bad on them, run up the bag on them, press that gas on them, hit the dash on them. I'm trying to get the money, y'all ain't gon' stop me. I'm trying to get the money, y'all ain't gon' knock me. Acting bad on them, run up the bag on them, press the gas on them, hit the dash on them. I'm trying to get the money, y'all ain't gon' stop me. I'm trying to get the money, y'all ain't gon' knock me. See y'all done messed up, put some respect on my name. See why they mad at me? I'm trying to make a little change. This for all my workers, working for minimum wage. I can't be nice to them. Y'all gotta feel my rage. How you gonna count me out? I got hit after hit, showing that fake love. They been thinking they slick. I be Uber trapping, yeah, my money legit. And my bow tie shining. I don't put ice on my wrist. They be side talking. I be hearing the words. See my parents die. I done been through the words. All these fake rappers, they be getting on my nerves. Southside still holding up. Had to go hard on my verse. Acting bad on them. Run up the bag on them. Press the gas on them. Hit the dash on them. I'm trying to get the money. Y'all gon' stop me. I'm trying to get the money. Y'all ain't gon' knock me. Acting bad on them. Run up the bag on them. Press the gas on them. Hit the dash on them. I'm trying to get the money. Y'all ain't gon' stop me. I'm trying to get the money.
Cole, RJ, Action Jackson always holding us down, man. Shout out to everybody checking us out on weareA1.com. We appreciate y'all. Make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube. Go to the IG, the Twitter, Facebook.
Everything,
man. You know what I'm saying? I heard we on Snapchat too, man. You know what I'm saying? You might see me snapping.
But it don't go down in the DM. Okay, it's business, you know. It go down a little bit, but not much. Not what you think.
Hey, man, I plead the fifth, so you know what I'm saying? It ain't me. It ain't me. Hey, man, Jay Nicole, how you doing?
I'm wonderful. It's Wednesday. How can I not be good on A1 Live with these beautiful, beautiful people?
No, man, you come in here, you know what I'm saying? You got the good energy all fresh, man. You got your glasses ready.
You know, I tried to bring a little dragon energy with me.
Hey, you got to.
Baby dragon,
you got to, man. Hey, man. So, man, you know, this week, you know, is a special week, you know. I mean, you know, a lot of weeks we have special weeks and special guests, but you know, yeah, man, this one gonna leave your stomachs ready. You know, have you ready to go support? You know what I'm saying? Some great black businesses that are out there.
Some good food,
man. You know, so you know, just roll right into it. You know, the sister that you see right here to my left, you know, she don't even deserve any introduction anymore because she just family now, you know what I'm saying? Sister Renia from the great Gristle and Gossip. How you doing, sis?
Hey, guys. I'm great. Thank you for having me again. This is like my home. It's an awesome home.
Oh, yeah. Man.
I missed you last time. I'm so glad I get to sit here with you
I'm so happy
today.
that you're here. I'm happy that you're here. And when you told me you were in New York, I was just like, why? Because no shade to New York, but that is one of my least favorite places. So anytime somebody says they had to go to New York, I'm like, why?
And that's how I felt, too. It was different. It was real different. I mean, I liked it. I saw it was different because it was my first time to New York, you know. So I saw a lot of different. It's a different culture.
It's a different vibe in New York. Yeah.
Most def. Yeah, New York. It's cool, man. You know, so I like Harlem, man. You know, it's cool out there, man. But you know, that Coney Island, boy, that's a different place, man. If y'all ain't never been to Coney Island, man. Yeah, man. You know, we now I told you, man, when we went up there, I took my wife, man, and, you know, we just, you know, me, man, I just be walking around everywhere. But, you know, that was the one place she was like, brother, where we at? Where we at? But, yeah, shout out to NY Peeps, man. Man, and the sister right here, man, I'm pretty sure, you know, y'all done seen her, you know, in a lot of different places. If not, man, you've heard about the movement that they have going on. And, you know, outside of Houston Black Restaurant Week, this sister has a lot of other things going on as well that we're definitely going to be getting to build to. Sister Falayn, what's good? How you doing?
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here tonight. You know.
Man, I'm glad you made time, man.
I know.
Yes.
Yeah. This is definitely my busy season, but you know, Renia called and you know, day one fam, so I definitely had to hop in.
Man, I appreciate it. I appreciate the love.
Yeah.
Man, so man, you know, it's been something that's been on my spirit for these past 2 weeks, man. You know, I've been trying to figure out, man, like, where's the line? And what do we mean with this whole, like, cancel culture, man? Because, you know, I don't necessarily know. You know, some people get mad at me, you know, when I say, you know, I definitely agree that there are a lot of people that are out there hurting people that need to be held accountable. But, you know, it seemed like a, you know, blurred lines.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Sister Renia, man, what's good, man?
Man, I feel like cancel culture is definitely a hot topic. It's something that my peers and I talk about all the time because no, cancel culture is not new, but it's something that I'm hearing more and more, right? And so I feel like lately when you think of situations with Daniel Caesar, Kodak Black, Cardi B, R. Kelly, Michael Jackson, those types of situations, I'm always like, so are we going to cancel the person or are we canceling the art? Because for me, I guess when it comes to being black, our culture, you tiptoe a fine line because there's just a lot of things that come with Michael Jackson's arsenal. you cancel his art.
Right.
You cancel a lot of our childhoods, a lot, you know, and I know there are people on both sides of that who are like, well, he did wrong, so we should cancel all of that. So, you know, I'm not sure how I feel about, you know, that. I mean, you want us to separate the man from the celebrity, so let us do that.
Man, he made Thriller. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. You know, he has a
Right.
big influence on up and coming artists, and if you take that away, then what are you going to be left with? You know?
Right. Man, you know, it was interesting, you know, when this whole, like, you mentioned Cardi B, you know, when that situation came up, it didn't seem to be a lot of outrage as far as it relates to situations like that. I mean, is it because that's just, it's because it isn't anything big, it's in the past, or because it's like male victims?
I think it does have a little bit to do with male victims. I think in a lot of situations, it's really hard for society to feel empathetic about male victims. So I do think that's really, you know, the situation with her, and she's just has a lot of popularity right now. So I think it's just hard for people to separate the two. But I think even with the cancel culture, it does come to what are the facts, right? I think sometimes people are canceling situations before you've heard all the facts, or you could really digest what really took down in what happened in the situation. And so I think that's the issue. I think we're just rushing too fast to pass judgment, you know what I mean, before even knowing. Even with the Jussie Smollett, it's like, you know, it was like every time something else came out, everyone was like, wait, well, let's, you know, now we side with the cops. So now we side back with him. No, now he's alive. It's like we were just confused. So I think it's just people not knowing all of the facts and passing judgment. And I think that's probably the issue more than anything.
Most definitely. And, you know, everybody always had their biases on, you know what I'm saying, all the different situations.
Right.
You know, like you mentioned, even with the Jussie Smollett, man, I don't know. I said from the beginning that story sounded kind of funny. But, you know, regardless, you know, I'm not going to agree with sending the brother to jail for, you know what I'm saying, something like that. So, like they say, he didn't do it even if he did. So, you know, I just can't admit my bias on that situation. But it is kind of interesting, though, like with the R. Kelly situation, to see an abundance of black women at his shows still that's kind of seem to, you know, be pushing them on. I mean, of course, you know, he has the other races there as well. But, you know, you would think with everything that we've said over these past, you know, few weeks that, like, nobody from the culture would be rocking with him, but that don't seem to be the case.
Well, you know, he's been down this path before, you know, and
pipe him.
The society has just moved along because of the feel-good music that he makes, and just decided to sweep it under the rug. So, you know, whatever he's doing now is he's trying to go along with that same, you know, timeline of what happened in the past. And the thing is we have to be the ones to be able to shut that down. And if we don't, it's just going to continue. And other people are going to start.
And I agree with that. And I think then it goes back to cancel the art, or are we canceling the person? You know, because he does make that feel good music. And I was listening to this podcast this morning. It's called Vontourage. And he's a DJ. And he was just saying, you know, over the weekend I did something that I said I would not do. I played Step in the Name of Love. Do you think anybody was like, turn that off, brother? No, they stepped in the name of love.
It's built inside of you. When you hear the music come on, you just automatically step in the name of love.
Music and food are part of our DNA.
It is.
It's embedded in our culture to move, to feel, to eat, to vibe in certain ways. Are we in agreement with R. Kelly's behavior? Absolutely not. But I think when you think about R. Kelly's situation specifically, and why you mentioned that there were black women who are still supporting him, a lot of people say that the fact that this story did not get any shine was because it was black women that were being abused. And Malcolm X said it himself, the most disrespected person on the face of this earth is the black woman. And so a lot of that probably goes to show how much we might not care about ourselves. Those women who still support, you know, R. Kelly, we feel lost in ourselves in that respect. So, you know, that's just something to think about too.
For sure.
I think it kind of goes back to, as a society, as the black culture, I don't think we take mental health well. So I think it goes back to, you know, definitely he's sick. You know what I mean? Let's just call a spade a spade. He's sick. And I think The issue is that by the community still supporting him in certain ways, no one's calling to attention that, hey, brother, like, you need to go get help. You know what I mean? This is the issue. I think because we swept it under the rug the first time and we didn't call enough attention to it, he never got the help that he should have got years ago. And I think now it's just, you know, that's kind of the sad part of the situation. You know what I mean?
I'm excited for today's show.
Right, man. Yeah, man. I got something to think on, man. So, yeah, man, we're finna get into this first commercial break. Finna give y'all some throwback J-Dab on them, man. You know what I'm saying? J-Dabbing there with the kids, man. Shout out to Dabbing on the Real, man. We're finna get into this first break, man. We are A1.com, brother. iTunes, Rod, Gristle, and Gossip. Houston Black Restaurant Week is in the building, man. Holla at your boy, man. RJ, Q, what's up?
Put your money where your community is. Get in the action. And we are
Hashtag girl power. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your girl Janetta with A1 Live Pop Up here at African Fashion Week Art, Wine, and Culture event. We are having an amazing time. They have some lovely art pieces to see. So go ahead, get down here. You still have time. Everybody get in the action.
You tuned into the all-new Action One Network. Turn up your volume.
Put your game face on, it's time to get it in. Far beyond the pen, cause we destined to win. Put your game face on, put your game face on, put your game face on, put your game face on.
Put your game face on, it's time to get it in. Far beyond the pen, cause we destined to win. Put your game face on, put your game face on, put your game face on, put your game face on. Another summer pass, time to get back to class. Gotta make my pants fall, so it's time that I'm at. Put my game face on, yeah, it's time to get it in. Get serious once again, yeah, it's time to get it in. Far beyond the kid, even though I'm only 10, with the spirit I possess, make it hard to blend in. Gotta stand out while punching this clock. Going to school is my job day in and day out. My business, I'm about, gotta get my study on. Get my study on, so I'm bringing A's home. On the road, I belong, so I'm working extra hard. On the bed every night, so in class I won't know. Hands up, eyes alert, ears up and paying attention. Taking notes, so what she mentioned, don't have time for the teacher. Each day I'm doing my best, just preparing for the test. Thank you, God, every day, cause I know I'm truly the best.
Put your game face on, it's time to get it in. Far beyond the pen, cause we destined to win. Put your game face on, put your game face on, put your game face on, put your game face on.
Put your game face on, it's time to get it in. Far beyond the pen, cause we destined to win. Put your game face on, put your game face on, put your game face on, put your game face on.
Put my game face on, cause it's time to get serious. Gon' call me George, cause it's time to get curious. Delays make me furious, so I stay focused. These ain't no jokes, so I gotta stay jokeless. No, I'm not hopeless, my potential level's high. I can do anything, y'all, the limit is the sky. For daddy, I'ma try, gotta make mama proud. For that reason, y'all, I'm staying away from the crowd. They talking really loud and getting real belligerent. Can't give in, so I'm not really hearing them. No, I'm not fearing them, I got my own mind. Gotta maintain, cause I'm destined to shine. In front of the line, cause I don't do the back. Can't learn in the back, so I'm staying out the back. Even if they attack and talk down on my name, on the mission trying to gain, so me, I'm a team.
Put your game face on, it's time to get it in. Far beyond the pen, cause we destined to win. Put your game face on, put your game face on, put your game face on, put your game face on.
Put your game face on, it's time to get it in. Far beyond the pen, cause we destined to win. Put your game face on, put your game face on, put your game face on, put your game face on.
Follow your fork to Black Restaurant Week. We are inviting you to celebrate the flavors of African American, African, and Caribbean cuisine. To join in the fun, visit our website for a list of our participating restaurants. Simply dine at a restaurant and request the special Black Restaurant Week menu. We feature casual dining options for $15 to $25 or fine dining options for $35 to $45. A portion of proceeds from Black Restaurant Week will support the Farms Organization's efforts to support minority farmers while alleviating hunger in the farmers community. Check out more information about Black Restaurant Week and our upcoming culinary events at our website. A special thank you to all of our community partners and supporters.
action co-hosts with us, you know what I'm saying, Gristle and Gossip, Sister Falayn with Houston Black Restaurant Week in the building, man. Sister Renia, man. Take it away for him.
So, I mean, let me just say this, though. Houston Black Restaurant Week is legit my favorite time of year.
Oh, nice.
You know what I'm
glad to hear
saying?
that.
Like, I feel like it's the one time, and we were chatting about this earlier, I feel like it's the one time that as a culture, as black people from Africa, from the United States, from the Caribbean, we come together and we celebrate and we love on one another and we support one another. I can't really think of another time of year that happens, or another, forum of which that occurs. So kudos to you guys for creating this space and this harmony and this unity, not just in Houston, guys, but in how many other cities?
This year we're doing 7 cities. Well, 8 total. So we're doing 7 outside of Houston. So after Houston, we have Philadelphia, New Orleans, Indianapolis is the new city we're doing this year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Connie's, if you hear that, Connie's,
wild
they're doing
in that,
Indianapolis.
man.
Yeah, and so then we have Atlanta, Oakland, Los Angeles, and then we finish it up in Dallas. Oh, and I should not say Oakland. I should say the Bay Area, because I've heard that they're very particular about naming. So it's the Bay Area, so we'll be in Oakland and San Francisco area.
That's amazing. I could just imagine all the different types of food that you're going to get in each one of those cities.
Right. I think, some of the markets, really kind of surprised us last year. Last year was our biggest growth year. And so Philadelphia was just one of those cities that we had no expectations because, they invited us to do it up there. So some of the growth is people will reach out and say, I love what you guys are doing. Come do it in my city. And Philadelphia was one of those markets. And so, but the love, like that brotherly sisterly love, it was very strong. And, they are doing just some really interesting things when it comes to food and culture up there. So it was just really cool to connect with the chefs. Their community's really connected. One chef, we went there, he was calling the other restaurants before we got there to tell them we were coming. You know what I mean? So, and even the city as a whole, they support the culinary community. So it's really interesting when you go from city to city, just seeing what's going on in this industry as it relates to African Americans, blacks, and whole, because our story isn't told, nationally, right? We don't have a black food network. We're not that prominent in a lot of major food festivals, so it's really nice to see that, there's still some fascinating things going on when it relates to food.
Yeah. So I don't want to get ahead of myself. I have a lot to unpack here about Houston Black Restaurant Week. But if you don't know Falayn, she is the designer behind the award-winning design firm
Award-winning
Media.
Correct.
So all of the websites, all of the marketing materials that you see, these fancy buttons that we're all adorning today, Falayn and her team have created this. So she's a lady of many talents and wears many hats. So we're really, again, just happy that you took some time out of your busy season to come and share with our community, share with our listeners, a little bit about Houston Black Restaurant Week, because whether or not you know it, there are people out there who have no idea what Houston Black Restaurant Week is. So Falayn, share the dates with them and a little bit about what they can expect.
Sure. So the dates are April 14th through the 28th. This is our 4th year in Houston. So we're a little different out of your traditional restaurant week. When we sat down a couple of years ago and decided to do this project, we realized there was just a void in the community as a whole when it relates to the culinary platform. Personally, my father's a chef, but he's never wanted to own a restaurant. You have chefs that are just like, that's not for me. And so, my thought was, well, how do we tell the story of that side of the community? And so we expanded the model to host several events throughout the 2 weeks, which allows us to focus on each aspect of the industry as it relates to Black-owned businesses. So we have Aroma, which is our business panel discussion. We're hosting it this year on Tuesday, April 16th. And we're just talking about culinary product placement, right? So if you make your jams, your spices, if you bake cakes, instead of having your own storefront, how do you sell your product to a restaurant? How do you do distribution through a grocery store? You know what I mean? How do you get distribution through Cisco or through Gordon Foods? So we're really going to look into that aspect of the industry just to really show that there's more business opportunities than always owning a restaurant. And so we also have our Art of Flavor pop-up dinner. it's really our intimate dinner that kind of allows us to focus on a chef that doesn't have a restaurant but is doing some amazing things in the food industry. In the past, we've had Chef Johnny Rose, who was just nominated for a James Beard Award. We had Chef Holly last year. His restaurant closed, so our event was the first event he did, after his restaurant closed. So it just shows kind of still that legacy and what are some new things happening in the food scene with chefs. This year we're featuring Kenneth Temple. He was on Chopped. He won one of the episodes of Chopped, hails from New Orleans. So, that's really fascinating. So we get to bring some New Orleans flavor to Houston, what I mean?
Right.
So
Right.
A bunch of cream sauces and everything that, that comes with. So we're excited about that. We have our Nosh Culinary Showcase, Empower the Palate Bartender Competition. It's probably one of our favorite events. I'm sure it's Renia's favorite event.
I was just about to say that. You took the words right out of my mouth. Nosh is my joint.
Yeah, so Nosh was really the call to action of how do we showcase caterers. So when you really look at the Black culinary industry, the heart of it relates to catering. Most chefs, most people, when they start into that industry, they're going to start off as a caterer. And so Nosh really relates to how do we really show the catering aspect of the industry so that as you're booking your next event, your company's doing these holiday parties, you can't really use the excuse of we don't know any good caterers anymore. Like, we fill the room with caterers. You get to taste all types of food. I think it is one of the best food events because we're bringing chefs and caterers, so every year they're doing something different. It's a competition, so you just never know what people are doing. Last year, Chef Yolanda Henry had this huge Moroccan setup, and when she was setting it up, we were all just looking like, what are you doing?
Shout out to Chef Yo, Lexi's Catering. Love Chef Yo.
So, you just get all types of food. This year we have over 30 different tasting stations, everything from sweet, savory, vegan bites. So if you really want to come and eat, that's the night to come. We do a bartending competition where we feature 8 to 10 bartenders. They're doing bartending some drinks with Jack Daniel's Gentleman Jack. So the bartender aspect is cool because we challenge them to use fresh produce. So it's not just about making a sweet drink. It's like, how do you really incorporate different flavors within a cocktail and really kind of challenge your palate. So that part of the aspect is fun. And then our finale is the Soundbites Food Truck Festival, which allows us to really hit up the food trucks as well as other just vendors. So we have a huge vendors market where we have people selling jams, jellies, vegan chocolate chip cookies. Just all types of stuff is out there. It's family friendly. It's in Peggy Park. It's pretty much probably the largest food truck festival in Peggy Park. Just with the amount of vendors and attendants and everything we have going on. So, it's definitely something for everybody. This year we have over 35 restaurants participating. So even when you talk about just restaurants, we have African, barbecue, soul food, new restaurants that have literally just opened, such as Taste Bar and Kitchen. We have OMG Seafood, who I think opens during Black Restaurant Week. So, it's really a way.
Y'all pushing businesses, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Just to be there, man, for sure.
So it's very cool because, in each restaurant, each business owner, they have their own interesting story. We have Poochin that most people didn't even know was Black owned. The chef has ownership in his restaurant, and he just wanted his story told that, you could have really nice establishments, really be a part of the ownership. You don't always just have to be in the kitchen. And so it's really, really cool to feature those type of stories, to the Houston community for the next 2 weeks.
Most definitely.
I love how you guys have just drilled down to each aspect of the culinary art, where it comes from the restaurants to the caterers to even the bartenders. I respect that and I love that and I appreciate you guys for that because you guys are teaching, not only introducing new things to people, but also teaching people how they can enter into these avenues as well.
Right. Yeah. And that's really important for us. It is about growing the industry, sustaining it. We've seen restaurants grow since we've done this model. Esther's, Cajun, they have an additional location now. We've seen food trucks Midwest Coney Connection. He started off with 1 food truck. Now he has 3. So, I mean, and he was talking just about the growth and how great this platform has been for him. So it's definitely, something that really supports and resonates with the community even after the project ends. And that's really what's important to us. So one of the big things we do is a magazine. Last year, my business partner was like, we should do a magazine. And I was like, great, more things for me to design. And so the magazine was a call to action because throughout the year, we're constantly getting emails of, I went to your event, I'm hosting a event, can I have the list of all your food trucks? Or, I saw this vegan chef, you know what I mean? How can I get that? And so we were like, all right, well, let's create this resource where it lives on our website after the week wraps up. And, now people just have this resource guide where they could go and call, all the people that participated in the week. We print out several hundred copies that we pass out at the showcase. And so the other cool thing is we're able to go in detail about certain aspects, right? So this year we're highlighting millennials in franchising. There's some millennials doing some really cool franchising things. We're highlighting Benny Farrell's Catering. That's part of my family, but they've been in business for 60 years in the Houston community, which is, just shows the legacy of food. And so, it just allows us to just really kind of continue to tell the story of the community as it relates to culinary arts.
Man, 60 years?
Yes.
Hey, that's some good food because you can't make food for our people. For one sitting in it don't be good, let alone 60 years, man.
Yes,
So.
good food, good service. I think it's a mixture of things when you think of the culinary game. I was telling somebody earlier today that it's not. I mean, you can serve great food, but there are so many things that should be packaged with that. Great service, great hospitality, in addition to great food. So 60 years definitely speaks to that. Kudos to your family for being able to maintain such a powerful movement like that.
Yeah, and it's interesting because, it's definitely passed down generational, but, that was the thing that the article speaks to. They really prided themselves on service. I think, with that being said, if you're a Black person doing business, the level of expectation is set so high, like you don't have a lot of room for failure, a lot of room to wiggle room to make mistakes. And so, and I think sometimes that probably needs to be a greater conversation within our community, right? So I remember one time someone's like, I went to this place, they weren't, it was a restaurant, their doors weren't open or something happened, but I was like, well, instead of blasting them, maybe that could just be a personal conversation with the owner. Like, I think we just have to start to massage our conversation. You hear a lot from older generations, like, we don't support each other. And I'm always like, this project shows that the community supports the community. I think we've never had the formal platform, so that's why we've been just saying that over and over, but we just as a community have to stop saying we don't support each other. You know what I mean?
And we also got to use like all of our opportunities to show like the positive what's going on within the community. I feel that sometimes like we not only ourselves, but we allow these others that are outsiders from our community exploit the negative aspects to it and say that, oh well, what I'm saying, that's Black, what I'm saying, that's whatever, but and that's why I'm happy you're here today, because I mean that's one of the main reasons why we're trying to build this platform here is to show all of the positive independent entrepreneurs within not only millennials but then within traditionally oppressed communities, you know what I'm saying? And like you mentioned, it's a lot of us out there, and a lot of people just don't get the spotlight, especially like while they breathing. I feel that sometimes, we give our people, they praises after they done, but, we don't give their boys their flowers while they can still smell them. So that's why I love, Houston Black Restaurant Week, because, y'all are highlighting You know what I'm saying? So, you know, not only just black businesses, but businesses with great food, great service. And, you know, that's kind of like the building bridge for a lot of our people that don't believe that you can go to a black business and, you know, have good service and everything else like that, man.
And I also think it takes away from, you know, restaurants competing with each other because you're bringing them together in unity and they're ending up working together to, you know, get their foods out.
No, and you would be surprised. I think, you know, because they are a minority within the industry, you know, they come together on their own. I mean, you'll see, like, I think one time we had a radio spot and we had 2 barbecue owners and they were just chatting it up. How's things going? Oh, we're trying this out. You know what I mean? So I think it just naturally exists within the community. And so even in Philadelphia, it's 10 chefs that get together and they do an event called Cooking for the Culture, where each chef does a different course. And, you know, so there's a lot of just...
Man, we got to get out to Philly, man.
Yes.
I know, man. I need to get out
so
there,
it's just
man.
a lot
Tanya,
of...
man, up, man.
It's a lot of collaboration going on. And so for us now, we're starting to have this platform for us. It's like, okay, how do we connect some of these cities together, right? How do we connect the Houston culinary community to Dallas, to New Orleans, or what are some things we could do to continue to build these stories? Because, you know, I just think it's just a lot of great information that could be shared, you know, amongst us, the community.
So I feel like at this point we shouldn't have to tell you to go out and support Houston Black Restaurant Week, but they do have a super fun way for you to engage with Houston Black Restaurant Week, to get out there and get in these restaurants and you know, potentially get something back in return outside of awesome food. So Falayn, if you wouldn't mind speaking to, well, we call it Black, but it's bingo because it's BLACK. So it's just a fun way for you guys to be able to play along and go to these restaurants. Black Blogger Clique did something similar like this for Black History Month. Yes. So you guys could go out and play Black with us, and if you blacked out or got bingo, you could enter to win some fun prizes. So Falayn, tell us what's a little bit different and exciting about your card.
And for the record, check the RBG, baby.
So we do have the bingo card on our website, and we did print them out. You could go to any of the participating restaurants, which are all listed on our website, and they also have hard copies of the card as well. We also have some of the actual events. So if you attend an event, you know what I mean, you could check off a box. And we kind of left it general. So, you know, we're like, go visit a place for breakfast, go visit a place for lunch. That way you could really just explore everything that's going on. Try one of the happy hours. We even have try a vegan meal, try an African meal, because we want you to really taste or challenge your taste buds, right? Don't always go to that one spot that you go to all the time. Like, I love Turkey Leg Hut, but we have a bunch of restaurants. So expand the knowledge and try, Taste of Nigeria, who's a fine dining Nigerian concept. Or, you know what I mean, try one of our Caribbean places. We have Cool Runnings in this year, which is new to the deck. We have Golden Crust. They're hopping in. Yeah, their beef patties are amazing. As soon as they sent in their pictures, I was like, ooh, patty. So, we have we have 8 Kitchen. She does a little kind of boutique restaurant in Montrose, and she's doing some, fusion things with Caribbean flavors and things like that. So, I mean, we have everything from traditional to untraditional. And so the bingo card allows you to do that. Some prizes include Renia, she's offering a giveaway. We have tickets to the reggae festival that's going to be going on in Peggy Park. We also have Radio 1 is going to be offering some tickets as well. So, I mean, it is a lot of incentives to get everyone out and to dine at multiple restaurants. We were speaking earlier, this is really a really big marketing campaign for all of these businesses. And so, it's really important that we really go throughout these 2 weeks, but also throughout the year. And really just challenge yourself to do something different. I say, someone asked, how do you support outside of the 2 weeks? And I say, really probably challenge yourself to at least go to a Black-owned restaurant at least once a month. I mean, if you really think about it, Houston is just a city where we eat out like all the time. And so just make that conscious effort to say at least once a month, let me go try a different restaurant, or I didn't get a chance to do stuffed wings at the food truck festival. And yes, he stuffs chicken wings with boudin and macaroni and cheese, and it's amazing. And so
y'all have RJ over there. Hey,
look, yeah. For the record, man, RJ don't never talk.
You
know,
never
that boy like a monk, man. That boy like a monk, man. You got RJ to talk, man.
Stuffed wings.
Yeah, the mac and cheese. His truck is permanently in 3rd Ward. So one day I was just like, man, like I gotta try these wings. So I drove just to get these wings, and they were delicious. So I mean, it's just challenge yourself to kind of think outside the box and just try to find something new to experience every month. You know what I mean?
And shameless plug, man, for Gristle and Gossip. If you're out there in these streets and you don't know where to go, or you need inspiration, or you got family coming in town and you trying to support Black, hit your girl up, man. My DMs are empty.
Facts. GristleandGossip.com.
Thank you.
Get in action.
Exactly. Get into action with me. Let's go eat. Let's do these things. So we're really excited about our 2 weeks of events that are starting. What's that, Sunday? This Sunday coming up. So that's perfect for brunch. There are a lot of bloggers out there, Black bloggers like myself. If you follow the Black Blogger Clique, you will start seeing our blog posts coming out of our top 5, our top 10 places to go. So just keep glued to Houston Black Restaurant Week, Gristle and Gossip, Black Blogger Clique. Places like that are great resources to ensure that you are out here in these streets living your best life. You're not going to want to miss these 2 weeks.
Man, I know I'm ready. I know I'm ready.
It's really fun. And I just really want to thank you guys for having us. We just love being able to really tell this story of these businesses. We're so happy for them. I mean, you just get to really get that personal connection talking to the owners. So this is beautiful.
Yeah, and just one last thing, Falayn, for me, I really want people to know about the charitable aspect of Houston Black Restaurant Week. So if you wouldn't mind just sharing with the folks,
Hold up, we finna roll it. We're gonna roll into a break. Then we're gonna roll back and get Sister Falayn.
We need to hear all of
that because we definitely want to. I want to give her, enough time to explain that, man. Brother Atumra, J. Nicole, Gristle and Gossip, Houston Black Restaurant Week, man. We deep in here, man. Jay, man, cue up that beat for me, man.
Yeah.
Still here? Go on and subscribe.
Get into action.
Yo, we back at it again, baby.
What?
Get into action.
3.
Get into action.
Tell me what is the deal. Tell me what is the deal.
So I challenge you today to start strong.
Get into action.
Tell me what is the deal. Cause I'm calling for you.
Get into action.
Can you feel that? See, I'm calling for you. Can you feel that? Yeah. See, I'm calling for you. Can you feel that? See, I'm calling for you. Say how you really feel.
Yo, we back at it again, baby. Last week I started with start strong. This week I want to change it up and talk about why not you. At the end of the day, recondition your mind to believing that it's possible, that you are a conqueror, that it can happen for you. So why not you? I'm excited for it, baby. Let's get it.
Don't ever let somebody tell you you can't do something.
I need you to stop living in fear. I need you to stop thinking that it can't be done. At the end of the day, if other people can do something, then you can too. If not you, then who? But it's not gonna be an easy road. You're gonna have some difficult nights. You're gonna have some early mornings and some late nights. You're gonna have people not in your corner. You're gonna have people, not believing in you. But you must believe in you. I don't care if it's 1 million people going for the same role or going for the same position that you want to go for. At the end of the day, they gotta choose somebody. So why not you? So this week, I want to encourage y'all to look yourself in the mirror and believe that if it's anybody else could do it, you can too. Why not you? It's your boy Jay Norm. Peace and blessings. Remember, why not you? Peace.
You got a dream, you got to protect it. People can't do something themselves. They want to tell you you can't do it. You want something, go get it. Period.
They got the Rebuild Black Wall Street by I Teach Drive going down April 13th from 6 p.m. to 9. You know, go check out that event. You know, it's free. You know, they helping the people. You know what I'm saying? Build up their community. We got the Black Texas pop-up markets going down Saturday, April 27th from 12 to 4, man. Shout out to our boy Chris, man, and Wake Up, man. We went out there the other week, man, and they held it down, man. And, you know, they also got the Made in Texas tour, man. The homie KO said that he was going to be holding it down, man. So, man, we look out for that, man, over the next few weeks, man. We're going to have some tickets to give away right here on Action One Media, man.
And one more thing. Shout out to KO and also to Rosie Bush.
Hey,
because
man.
she just dropped this new single
yeah.
called Natural.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm really feeling that. So you guys need to go out on all the platforms and search Rosie Bush Natural.
Oh, yeah, most definitely, man. She gonna be up here in about 2 weeks, man. You know what I'm saying? So look out for that, man. But before we went to the break, Sister Renia asked a very great question about some of the humanitarian aspects of Houston Black Restaurant Week.
Sure. So when we looked at the model, we really wanted to stay within the culinary world with our nonprofit, and so we are working with farms, family agriculture, resource management services. Jillian Henshaw does some amazing work really helping African American farmers, and so when you really look at the stats of African Americans as it relates to agriculture, we lose about 30,000 acres a year of our land. We only own about 2% of the land in America, agricultural land right now. So it just shows just the dire need for the support. And so she helps legally with them. A lot of them get really deceptive practices from banks, from the USDA. I mean, it's really awful. The things that are going on in the farming community as it relates to African Americans, and so she really
discrimination that we see in all these industries,
and it's just like systematic.
And it goes to farming too.
Right.
Hey, man.
And so we really love to support her. She does work throughout the U.S. So she does. She has different programming. One of the things we helped her with last year, she does a food bank program. So when a farmer wants to donate crops to a food bank, the food bank can't afford to pay for the full price of the crop, which doesn't, you know, really help the farmer, especially if you're a small farm. And so she comes in and she subsidizes and basically purchases the crop at the full price, so then he's allowed to do the donation to a local food bank.
Amazing.
So last year in Houston, we were able to donate like over 4,000 pounds of watermelon to the Shape Community Center.
Hey, shout out Mama Deloy, man. What's up, baby?
And so she, you know, she's worked with farmers all throughout the Southeast, and so, you know, we just love really working with her. She's really sweet and honest about what she's doing, and I think that's the other thing with that community. They've been deceived for so long. You know, they don't really trust a lot of people. And
Speak on it.
It's really good to work with someone who has the trust of that community and is doing what they say they're going to do.
So Killer Mike has this segment on Netflix. It's called Trigger Warning. And on the first one, he challenges himself to live black, I want to say, for a day. From transportation to the food he wore, to housing, to the clothes that he wore. And by the end of the episode, he was homeless, hungry, and sleeping on a bench. So that lets you know, that
it's not fair.
It's not fair. There is systematic discrimination that is occurring within our community. We are still being oppressed in areas that we don't see. I mean, think of all the things that we see and all the oppression that occurs that we can put our finger on. To know that there is oppression in farming when a lot of our families, a lot of our ancestors, when we were freed, we were given X amount of land, and to know that now, years and years down the line, we are fighting for what is ours, is really eye-opening. So supporting something like farms is huge, and if there is a way that people can learn more and give back outside of Houston Black Restaurant Week, please share that, and I would encourage us all to figure out a way to do that, because at the end of the day, these grocery stores shut down, y'all. HEB gone. What are we gonna do?
Yeah. And I think so you could definitely go to our website under the About tab. We have supporting the community, and it's all about her organization, and has links to definitely make a donation directly to her platform. And you're right. I think for us, it's just about awareness, right? And that's what this project is really about. People just don't know. The crazy story I could tell, it's a story out of actually Louisiana. I mean, everyone, when we talk about farms, everyone brings up Queen Sugar. Well, Queen Sugar is based on an actual family in Louisiana that has just recently lost their land. You know what I mean? So, it's not just TV. This is really happening to families, and, they've had this land for generations, and the sugar mill, basically was sabotaging. I mean, like, just silly stuff. They were waking up. It was dead animals in their property. They were, like, emptying out the oil, in their tractors, or cutting wires, just doing just really terrible things to this family, signing names on, on loans, and then the loans forfeiting, and the family didn't even know that a loan was in their name. So, I mean, it's just crazy things that are really going on in the farming community that most people don't know about. And the sad part is, even for her, she's been doing this work. She's starting to get crazy calls, threatening calls. You know what I mean? So it's not a fantasy. It's definitely, they really do need our support.
Yeah. And like you said, this is a area in which we only own 2%. Right. So they're worried about this 2% that we are. Right.
It shows you the value, though, of the fact that, like, you want that extra 2% shows the value of land in America. You know what I mean?
So one thing I did before I came to the show was I reached out to a lot of my subscribers and my listeners, and I wanted to see if there were things specifically about Houston Black Restaurant Week that they wanted to know. A bulk of the questions, I was like, go to the website. Do you read? Do you read? But one of the things people want to know, and if you could just let them know, when can they expect to see the menus live?
Right, the menus. It's like the golden question. So
folks want to eat. People are like, what are we?
Where are the menus? The menus will be live in the next 2 days. So, we are working with small businesses. So,
understood.
but we are pushing them live in the next day or so. Actually, that's what I've been doing all day, is designing menus, because I design everything. But that just kind of shows what we do. So each restaurant, we design menus for them, and we actually print them out. We do custom graphics for each restaurant. I mean, we really do a lot of things to market and promote these restaurants for the community. And starting out, we wanted all the restaurants to be on the same level, right? So if, even your small soul food restaurant, we wanted you to have the same look and feel as a Lucille's, right? And so that's why we kind of do all these things, just to make sure everybody, for this 2 weeks, we're all on the same level and just enjoying the food and not worrying about all of the other random things.
Well, I'm here for it.
Man,
I'm here for it.
You guys hungry for it and here for it.
So, between Houston Black Restaurant Week and the 7 other cities that you all do, what's the one thing that you would like for a customer to take away from attending the events?
I think it's just about awareness. Like, how do we continue the conversation? We've all talked about the positive today, but when you really look at the reality, we started this project in 2016, and every year there's 2 restaurants that close by the time we come back around. So, I mean, the restaurant industry is one of the most challenging, competitive industries to operate in. And so, it is a need for the project, but it's a need past the project. It's a need of, like I said, throughout the year, how do you continue to support these businesses when the holidays come around, making sure that you're telling your administrative assistant at your corporate job, hey, here are some caterers that we should look into hiring this year. I mean, you do have, the voice to really make sure these businesses are supported throughout the year.
Man, that's wild, man. Hey, and we ready for it, man. So, we appreciate you, coming out, and just know, man, anything y'all need, man. That Action One, we're there for y'all. You know what I'm saying? We love y'all. We support the movement.
Yeah, I'll have to give you guys some tickets to do a giveaway to the Food Truck Festival. Just let me know.
Hey,
back.
look, y'all there first, man. Y'all there first, man.
Y'all hear it.
Y'all hear it. Make sure y'all tune in. But before we get out of here, I want you to give the rundown for Houston Black Restaurant Week one more time. Let the people know, how they can purchase tickets, and also, just a website, IG, everything, how they can stay
Definitely
up with you.
follow us on social media, Black Restaurant Week, Instagram, and Facebook. We definitely are pushing out all the latest information that's going on. You could also go to our website, houbrw.com. Sign up for our newsletter, which also has some great information. But yeah, definitely come out. We're featuring over 30 restaurants this year, offering special menu pricing, starting as low as $15 to $10, going all the way up to $45. So definitely a way for you to kind of participate and eat a bunch of food over these 2 weeks and stay on budget. We also have 4 events. We have our Aroma Culinary Panel Discussion, which is hosted by the Greater Houston Black Chamber. That will be at Emancipation Cultural Park in the heart of Third Ward on April 16th. We have our culinary pop-up dinner, Art of Flavor pop-up dinner featuring Chef Kenneth Temple. And that is going to be at Book Design Studio, so you get to take all your cool little photos upstairs, in their different rooms. We have our Nosh Culinary Showcase at the George R. Brown, featuring over 30 different tasting stations, bartending competition, live cooking demonstrations as well. That is on April 24th. And finally, we end it with our Food Truck Festival on April 27th from 1 to 8 in Peggy Park, featuring over 10 food trucks, vendors, music all day.
It's going down.
So definitely
Get in the action.
Have a little fun. Tell your family and friends. Tell your coworkers. Tell your mama and them. And that's
Right. Tell your granny, tell your uncle, tell your daddy.
And Houston Black Restaurant Week is brunch, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and happy hour. So you don't really have an excuse.
Got you covered.
Yes, we have vegan restaurants in this year. I mean, to Renia's point, there is no excuse. I mean, you could at least dine at one place that you just never, dined at before.
Just support. Come out, enjoy yourself, eat some good food. Have a good time, fellowship with your people. And you always remember it's more than one way to support. Granted, everyone out there may not be able to come out, although it's affordable. They may not be able to, but you can tell somebody.
You can spread the word.
You can spread the word. You can always support in other ways. So.
Most stuff. But yeah, we there. Sister Renia, man, give the people the information on Gristle and Gossip and the Black Bloggers Clique, how they can stay up, man.
So you can always follow me at gristleandgossip.com on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Gristle and Gossip. If you're looking for a collective of Black bloggers, to follow, to learn from, at Black Blogger Clique, CLIQUE on Instagram. We're out here in these streets doing things so that you as a community and our people can continue to be informed.
Most definitely. And we got some more fun next week coming for them.
We do, yeah. We keeping the Black Restaurant Week party going. So next week we're gonna have one of the vendors that is participating in Houston Black Restaurant Week to come up here and share a little bit about why they're doing it.
We're gonna be in the heart of the kickoff.
Yeah.
So man, we ready for it.
And maybe they'll bring some food. Jason, if you're watching, please send us some food.
Jay Nicole, what they need to do on that website?
Man, you guys just need to go to the website. It's real simple. Just go to wearea1.com, and it has everything that you need to know about A1, all the up-and-coming events. From the time you click on the page, you'll see everything that you need to know. You guys can become a member of Action One and get some pretty cool perks by going to wearea1.com/membership. Very affordable, and you get to really get into action with us. You can also become a sponsor of Action One for this show or other shows like it. We have a lot of different shows on our platform, from travel to science and technology, all types. So if you believe in what A1 is doing, go ahead and go to weareA1.com/sponsorship and let us continue to get in action in the community.
Most def, man. Make sure that y'all check out SG2 on Space, man, coming on every Thursday at 8 p.m. Dabbing on the Real every Saturday at noon. And, of course, Traveling Made Affordable, TV and Made a T, going down Saturday at 2 p.m.
Yeah.
Make sure that y'all check out, man. Shout out to the Bridge of Light Radio, you know what I'm saying, always holding us down, man. You know, another week up, another week down. Remember, action, agility, life, and community.
Yes.
The new age of media. Action One, we here. Jay Nicole, how we leave them every week.
Get in the action, baby.
Yay.
Yeah.
Come on in for a second. Have a seat. I don't usually let nobody in here, so consider yourself privileged. Let me tell you what's on my mind. Breath brought animation to the clay called man. Then man bought a crown called sin. If my father is just and the matter of my soul is dust, then a play holy would truly be to pretend that we ain't come from the dirt, or that we're above the ground. Really we are nothing but of the ground. So I keep myself level with blossoms from these gardens of care. Essential to my diet, keep my head clear, and then I hold my breath and dive beyond the depth of the matrix, aching from battles, and I'm scarred about the brain. Ain't no oracles, hopeless, searching for advice. Lesson 1, wisdom and knowledge the same as love and pain. It all makes sense in the dark, pitch black shadows of night. It immediately peek through the window as my endo is burning bright, and my smoke rise from the ash like a phoenix to sun. As I sit and get blazed like the sun, then I take another hourglass keeps running. Inevitably the end is coming, but I gotta prepare for the worst. And even though it's cold, ain't no sense in fronting, 'cause he can see through all the stunting. No time to stand still. Meditating as my heart thumps and booms in my chest. The wind outside is a metrodome to the rhythm of peace I possess in this catacomb, where only myself roams, and the nature I consume while I ascend as I breathe. Been blessed with the skin tone of toil, my country's backbone, but they afraid of me. Give me crumbs, set my expectations just above the scum, so I be content with a couple of stacks of years. My feet, a good job is one where I can go to work all day. Get sick for too long, no question they'll be docking my pay. If I have an opinion, I'm unemployed, so I work mighty hard for boss, 'cause I'm paranoid. They teach theirs entrepreneurship, tell us to get jobs, play with powder in their neighborhoods, introduce us to hard, but it's cool. I can make scraps, delicacies, and flip it. I'm also blessed with ingenuity. It somewhat confuses me, some of my own. See, weakness is unity like peace is detrimental to you and me, suffocated by witty niche. Self-hatred, so we vent, trying to do better, no matter how ruefully. The mind is amazing, even more the conditioning of it can be. You can make it see whatever you want it to. And since I discern my own view, a paradise like mine is what I want for you. I'm trying to live, getting lost in the scent of this coffee. The sprinkler water outside softly splashes the glass as I watch my blunt turn to ash as I sit and let the time pass. Sit and roll some more grass and feel the awesome power of nothing but my faith, strengthening as I speak to space in this place. Thankful for his mercy and grace. Then I take another pull. Then I take another pull. The sand in the hourglass keeps running. Inevitably the end is coming, but I gotta prepare for
yo. Back in this thing again. A1 Live.